What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Taylor Hinton Speaks His Mind, the number one online health and fitness podcast for millennials in the world. And here we are. It's Forum Friday, April 10th. It is beautiful out. I don't know where you guys are at, but in British Columbia, Canada, particularly in my beautiful city of Abbotsford, it is getting warm. It is feeling like summer. I told Angela midway through March at some point, I said, you know what? I promise you, there's going to be one day before the end of this month in March where it's going to be t-shirt and shorts weather. And I guess that could be debatable. I mean, it was like the last couple days there was definitely some sunny days, and I did wear t-shirt and shorts outside. I think that most people would probably say, maybe like long sleeve kind of weather. But anyways, it was just barely warm enough. And now in the first week and a half of April, we've had multiple days where it is high teens, low 20s. Yesterday apparently was up to 23 degrees. I did an hour long run yesterday, and wow, it was hot. I felt close to not heat stroke by any means, but I was definitely, after the workout, after this run, I was fatigued. I was tired, and I was really, really hot. I got home, had a moderate temperature shower, not quite cold, but you know what I mean. So here we are on our Lift and Learn community page. I'm going to share my screen here in a second. You guys know the deal at this point. On Fridays, we go through our community page and review all of our clients' exercises that they've posted over the last 7 days and give them critical feedback on how they're executing it. One thing that Angela and I are doing every weekend right now is recreating all of the exercise videos that are inside the workouts for our clients, because when they open up their workout and they click on an exercise, like for example, I have Andrew who just commented on an exercise, the lying barbell skull crusher, where you have to lay on the ground and do it. He was like, oh shit, I was doing this wrong the whole time. And this is the third exercise that he commented on. And despite, prior to us updating these, there were still videos that we had created and pulled some random ones from YouTube where we didn't have them already made ourselves. They were just 10 to 15-second visual clips of somebody doing the exercise, mostly us, but it didn't give a breakdown of how to set it up and what muscles you should be focusing on if there is a focus for it or whatever. So now these videos are a little bit longer. I never thought that people would want them to be longer because of the sheer fact of it just taking longer to watch. Because for me, I'm like, I just want to know what the movement is and then get to it. But obviously, that's not for everybody. People want to see like the description, they want to know how and stuff. So we're making these videos a little bit more detailed and people seem to love them. And that's really cool. So it's given us a weekend project to do every weekend. We have, I keep saying 500. I realistically think there's going to be closer to 1,000 by the time we're done doing this, because we have done at this point 84 videos, I think. And I feel like we've barely touched, I feel like if I could conceptualize this on a percentage base, I would say it's maybe 2% of all the exercises. And even then, maybe it's 1%. I don't know. But yeah, it feels like we're just barely scratching the surface. So here we go. We've got Jasmine up first. Let's take a look. A few areas need to work on for sure. We reviewed Jasmine's overhead press last week and gave her some feedback, and she replied back letting us know that she watched it. The feedback for her was make sure that you are stable and set up before you do the exercise. Like before you actually start pressing, you need to be stable. You can't be walking backwards and pressing overhead at the same time. That's fucking crazy. So here we go. Let's get her set up. She has much less weight on because I think she had 95 pounds or 115 on before, which is absolutely insane. But she set up properly this time. She got herself stable. I like it. This looks a lot better. Maybe this was the same weight because it looks challenging still. In the angle that she's filming this at is great too, because what we're looking at is this bar path. We're trying to see where is this bar in relation to her center of gravity, which when we're doing an overhead press, there's a very slim margin for error for where this bar can travel. If it travels just a couple inches back, then you feel like you're going to lose it. Same thing if it goes forward. So you really need to move your body kind of out of the way of the exercise of the bar. So she brings it down to her collarbone, which is good. That's full range of motion right there. And then as she presses, watch how she kind of slightly moves her upper body backwards. Good. It's out of the way. And then as she's pressing overhead, we're looking for her head to punch through the barbell. And she's getting there. It's looking a lot better. I think you can push your head through a little bit earlier when I'm doing this, Jasmine, as soon as I get this bar just barely clearing the top of my head is when I want to start pushing my head through. Okay, this is getting a little bit nitpicky, but this is helpful because the longer that you wait to push your head through, the less power you're going to be able to generate. Because from here, there's now a pretty significant gap between where your shoulder joint is and the bar. So the further away that these are from a lateral perspective, like left and right, the heavier this weight's going to feel. But the sooner that you can push your head through and make the distance laterally from shoulder to barbell path tighter, the stronger you're going to feel when you do this. So it's getting better. Push your head through a little bit earlier. And you also don't need to walk so far back. You could just take one step back and then walk back in. But yeah, Angela?
This looks so much better. And the setup in the beginning also looks so much better. And even like, I think it's after the second rep. Yeah, or maybe third, you get a little shaky, but like you balance yourself, you
Mm-hmm.
right here. That's completely normal to be shaky. Like this is a hard exercise.
Yeah,
Like that one, sorry. Yeah. But you brace, you balance yourself, and then you're like, okay, and then you do it again. Really, so much better.
cool. Agreed. Okay, we've got the box squat. So I hate the way you set up. Um, walking backwards underneath it. This makes it hard to know as the person lifting if you're centered on the bar. Like start from behind it, get your hands in place on the bar, double check that both hands are in the right spot so everything's nice and even, and then pull your body underneath. Kind of walking backwards underneath it. Um, I've been weight training since I was, I started with a personal trainer and lifting barbells when I was 10 or 11 years old. Okay. And to this day, at 30 years old, 20 years later, I'm still setting up the exact same way and double checking that I'm in the right spot. So that's why I'm being a little critical of your setup. And this looks a million times better. I'm so happy with this. This is the 135 on our monthly call. She's like, I want to be able to lift 135 in the next 30 days. And here we are, like 4 days later,
And it's like
lifting
pretty much
135.
parallel. So,
Yeah, I like the box height. I like the tempo. I like where the bar is sitting. I like your elbow positioning. I think this looks really good, Jasmine. Just don't set up like this. What the hell is
it's
that?
also like clearly she has really great mobility. We've seen it before, but like the purpose also, if you think about it, if you're starting b behind the bar looking at it and then you go up to the bar, your back is squeezing, you're contracting your back.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like going from doing it like this, your back isn't like fully even, it's not fully contracted. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's kind of it's a full body compound exercise and our back is also involved, but this looks so good.
Yeah. Approaching it from the way that we're asking you to when you're getting set up allows you to be in the right position. All your muscles are locked in, everything's balanced. You're really stable, you're really secure. So, just a little bit of discipline on the setup, but otherwise, it looks good. Brian is back. We'll have to modify the workouts. No chin up bar, no barbell. Yes, I know that, sir. Thank you so much for getting the. This is the assessment workouts. So thanks for getting the photos in here. And I know I got your consultation form. Your workouts will be ready for Monday. Let's see what we got here. This is the dumbbell squat. It's going to look like. Oh, no. We got the. Okay, yep. Rack squat. Okay, cool. So tempo looks really good. Nice and tall in the spine. You're looking confident with this one. Oh, getting onto the box. Okay, I didn't even know that you had a box there. Good. Or bench. She's sitting
Oh,
down on
okay,
the
I didn't
bench.
see that either.
So when you're doing your rack squat, what I want you to do, and this is going to be something that we're going to have to update, obviously, too. When you're doing this, you can do this right now with, minimal weights because we're getting set up and everything. But even with this weight, Brian, I imagine that this is putting a bit of stress on the elbow, sorry, on the wrist and on the shoulders because you have to actively engage muscles in your upper body to hold on to those dumbbells. And this is although it's a full body exercise, primarily, of course, a leg exercise. And we don't want the limiting factor in your ability to lift enough weight to be that your wrists start to hurt or that your shoulders are burning up, making this a shoulder exercise. So instead, what I want you to do is take the handles that you're holding onto and just turn them vertically or front and back so the dumbbells are facing this way rather than this way. And then let the handle part actually just rest on top of your shoulders, like technically on your traps right here between the shoulder joint or the bone of your shoulder and your neck. If you just let it rest there and then your hands are just gently resting on top to balance, then squat from this position. That would be way easier in terms of not getting your shoulders and arms and wrists all cranked up in intensity, and making that way you can lift a lot more weight and make this actually a leg exercise, because I know your wrists and your shoulders and your biceps are going to be fatigued way before your legs do. And this is probably, over time, if you're, you over time are going to need to lift heavier weights. So if you didn't do anything different and you just kept lifting heavier and heavier and heavier, you could be looking at maybe having a shoulder injury doing that. So keep that in mind. That would be the suggestion on this one. Ange?
No, I think you covered everything.
Okay, we've got, looks like Romanian. Could be Romanian, could be the conventional one. We'll take a look and see. I think it's Romanian
I
though.
think it's Romanian.
So, Brian, big thing for you on this one. I like where you're starting from. This position right here is great. But what I want you to think about doing, and this is a natural thing that people do, is they start to shrug their shoulders up because we're holding on to the weight and we're thinking, like, yeah, lifting heavy weight. So naturally, you're just going to start to shrug your shoulders up. I want you to actively do the opposite. Now, the cue that we use is armpits to the hips. So think about trying to push your armpits down towards your hips. And if everyone is watching this does this right now with me, you'll feel automatically your lats especially, but most all of your back muscles, they start to engage. Now they're tight. And when your back is tight when you're doing deadlifts, you're going to be able to lift more weight and you're protecting your spine. So push your armpits down towards your hips. This becomes really apparent at the bottom of this exercise because, excuse me, your shoulders look like they're shrugged up towards your neck and your upper back is rounding a lot. The upper back rounding in and of itself is not the end of the world. But I can tell right now that your core is disengaged and very relaxed. So push the armpits down towards the hips. That'll be the biggest key for you on this one. There's probably a couple other things that we could talk about, but I just want you to start there. And I think that that's going to inherently fix any other small little problems that you might have with this exercise. Ange?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Great. Cool. Another angle.
Yeah. Yeah. Better angle with this one. Thanks for the second video. And concept is the same. It's good. I like that you're pushing your hips back. I can tell that there's tension in your hamstrings the way that you're positioned here, but the upper body is just too relaxed. And we got to remember this is a full body movement. Armpits down towards the hips. Puff your chest up. Your chest is kind of caved inwards right now. So puff that chest upwards. And it's easier to do this when you are at the top position. So from here, big, tall chest, armpits down to the hips, and maintain that the entire time as you lower the weight. That has to be the limiting factor in your range of motion, not how far the weights can just come down, because you're good here. But as you lower the weights, everything at the top just relaxes, and we want to maintain that solid structure at the top.
I wanted to say something quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think a lot of people who do uh dumbbell RDLs, they think the dumbbells have to be directly out in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can have them by your sides if you really want to, and maybe, Brian, that will cause a little bit more like mental cue, like, okay, yeah, armpits down to the hips. Just because you don't like with a dumbbell, they're free, so you can have them down by your sides. I personally like to have them a little more diagonally, but yeah, maybe that little cue will help the armpits down to the hips as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. About I do the same thing with dumbbells. Is I'll do a 45-degree angle rather than directly straight out in front or straight out to the side, and then the dumbbells are actually just running, basically grazing across the shin muscle. So not right on the bone, but right on the outside of the shin bone. That would be probably the most comfortable position for you to be in. And let's see, we got some push-ups here. Okay, good. Full range. I like it. It's looking good, Brian. I don't think, I mean, we could nitpick this and say, hey, let's lift the hips up a little bit more and lead as you press down with the chest. Right now, you're leading more with your waist. So you are still getting full range, but it looks like your stomach is hitting the floor before your chest. If you can push your hips upwards a little bit and then lead as you lower your body, lead with the chest. That's going to make this a little bit more challenging for you. But ultimately, this is a good controlled push up. And I know that your chest is working hard here. So nothing for you to obsess over on that side of things. Is this the, oh, no, this is the shoulder press. Let's see. Good. I like it. Same kind of thing that Angela was saying with a hand positioning. You can put these dumbbells because they can move freely in whatever position feels most comfortable. And for most people, that's going to be a 45-degree angle rather than having the elbows straight out to the side. Your elbows are slightly in front. Your wrists are at an angle here rather than this way. That'll allow you to get all the way down without putting so much strain on the shoulder joint. But this is great tempo, nice and slow and controlled. Dumbbells are making contact with the shoulder. That's perfect. I think, yeah, the only thing would be, hey, you're allowed to be a little bit more comfortable with your hand position. So mess around with it a little bit. Otherwise, that looks great. This looks like the squat. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks for getting those over, Brian. Appreciate that. Chelsea, incline chest press, different hand position. Let's take a look. Let's not take a look. I saw the video on my phone already, so I believe this should work for us. Let's try to come back to it in a second, see if we can look at that.
Oh. Let me see on my end.
Browser. Yeah, you try on yours. Maybe we'll switch to yours instead. In the meantime, we've got the incline chest press. I think given the design of the machine, this is about as much as you can expect in terms of technique. I think this looks like, again, the handles are so wide, you really can't bring your hands in any closer. If you had more adjustments with this, we would want to have your hands in a little bit. I'm just looking at how far away your hands are from your chest. It looks like they're super wide, and you're just going to be a little bit weaker out here. It's almost like a fly press. Oh my gosh, look who pops in right at the right time.
Perfect timing. Chelsea, while you are watching this, is there a way to send the incline chest press different hand position as a text message because it's not playing on either of our ends?
Yeah, you just have to give me a second.
Yep, no worries. We're gonna review these.
Yeah, you can send it directly to me in the DMs.
Okay, sounds good.
I love the intensity and the control. You're getting the full range of motion that the machine allows for you. Also, just a side note, you look so much leaner. Like I can tell in your shoulders and arms and your neck and your face, you look like you dropped a lot of body fat. So really cool to see the transformation. Yeah, the control is awesome. The power, the effort on the last couple reps, you can tell you're really working to the right to the bitter end. So that's good. That's what real progress does. This is how you make it's those last 2 reps, everybody. These reps are basically getting your body fatigued to the point where you've now hit the very difficult last few reps. And that was, I think, the third to last, maybe second to last here. These reps here are the ones that count the most. Most impactful reps right there for sure. If she gets another one, yeah, that's awesome. So it looks like you're getting a lot more shoulder out of this machine than we would like, but it's just the design of the machine. The only thing I would say, it looks, can I zoom in? I can't zoom in, but it looks like right here might be a little yellow adjustable tab. You got a yellow one down here. I wonder if you can pull this out and lower these handlebars so that they're a little bit further down because, gosh darn. Right here, these handles are still, man, I don't know how far away from your chest, but it looks like they're a good 4+ inches away from your chest. It'd be great if we could get those handles adjusted down so you can get a better stretch. But if it doesn't do that, then you just have to work with the limitations of the equipment that you have. Overall, I think it looks pretty good though. Ange?
No, I think it also looks great. Controlled and really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just checked and it's not even playing on my phone, so I don't know if
Weird.
I know, yeah. Because you saw it?
I mean, I saw the image of it. I didn't click on it before, but I did see the image before on my
Mm.
phone. I don't know if it
I did just send it to you as a text message, but also Zoom kicked me out, so I'll have to go back and review what you said.
no worries. No worries. We'll see if I can get this to pop up. I might have to refresh my page here. Let's see what we got.
Cool.
There we go. So
And
I'm glad that you got both of these hand positions in on different sets. This looks better.
Can you full screen?
This looks better, Chelsea. Just because again, the limitations of the machine. When your hands are wider, you're not able to get your elbows. The way I'm noticing how I'm determining whether or not the range of motion is ideal is where are your elbows at the start. When your hands are over here, your elbows were much further forward. With your hands on these vertical bars, your elbows are forced to come back more. So I know that there's going to be a deeper stretch, and that's great. So I personally like the way that this looks. But at the end of the day, you have to determine for yourself which one feels better. Which one do I feel like I'm working my chest more? I imagine it's this one. And then you just stick with the
Yeah,
one that feels best.
and also with this one, I was able to get more reps. Like it felt like when I was setting my back, because I watched the new video that you did with Angela. So Angela's the person that's like telling you how to do this exercise. And
Mm.
so I was like setting my back, and it just felt like I could keep the position more. So I was able, instead of like when I get to that final one where I'm like really pushing, I almost am like wiggling my butt and my back to just try and like push out the last rep that I can do. And so this one felt like, okay, I've got a bit more control. I'm not like using those other muscles, which are not my chest muscles, to be trying to push through that like last one.
Yeah, that is perfect. That's a great that's a mental cue. You've leveled up mentally because you're thinking, okay, how am I feeling with this one? This feels better. I feel more stable. I can target it better. Stick with the one that feels the best.
Okay, will do. And the other thing was this machine, it just like there is a setting where you sit more upright, which on the machine in Angela's video, she is sitting more upright. But when you look at like the indicators where you can slope it and it has the words in it, this position is the chest position. So, and when I do the more upright one, I couldn't lift the same weight. It just felt so different. So even though it's inclined more than Angela is in her video, I thought this is still the correct position for this machine when I'm doing a chest movement.
Yep.
Yeah, because your arms are still kind of going above you a little bit, which is exactly what the incline would be. So I think, again, like the other hand position looks awesome. You looked really strong with it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Thanks for posting. Okay. I think that covers everything, everybody. Thank you
Did you
so
go
much for
over the ones
yeah,
below?
Jesse's new. This is her assessments. I sent her a personal
Cool.
video already on those, so that looked great. And we
Cool.
did this last week, I believe.
Yes.
That's right. Julio, everybody. Thank you so much for popping in. We appreciate you. Hope you have an amazing Friday. I just posted a reel that I think will be really valuable for everybody. Go take a look at it. It's around mindset, all or nothing, how you navigate through stressful situations. Yeah, I genuinely believe that it's the biggest thing that holds so many people back from doing the things that they need to on a daily basis and navigating when life throws chaos your way that's unexpected. Okay, so take a look at that whenever you get a chance. Comment any takeaways from it. And if you are not a client, you're interested in working with either Angela or I, then shoot either one of us a message on Instagram. Mine is Hinton Nation _coaching, and Angela's is
Coach.angela.hinton.
That's it, everybody. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you on Monday for the support call. Peace out.